Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Starcraft2 cast. And for this one, we are continuing the SC2 bots Gauntlets tournaments. A little ad lib thing I'm doing for my channel here. Nice little introduction to what the botting scene is about, starting from the most basic bots, working up to the much more refined ones. Last we left off, we had Scarlet's bot Drone getting defeated by Terran002 with his last final Marine. Anyways, we will continue against Baroness Zuli by Shadow Lord Alpha. The second Java bot we've seen so far. And it's a random bot that does Zerglings in a random way with random other things. So, okay, it's not actually playing random. I was about to say, how does a random bot do Zerglings? But okay. So I'm guessing he decides a lot of things by using a random function. Where to attack? Random. What units to make? Random. So that could be really interesting to see what that spits out. It's kind of like machine learning without the learning. Just machine. Yeah, so I guess we'll just hop right into this match and we'll take a look. So he'll be facing our Terran002, who we saw do a Battlecruiser Rush versus one Zerg, and attempted to do Proxy Marine Rush versus Drone, but he got Drone Rush first. He built 3 Proxy Barracks, made 1 Marine, and that 1 Marine killed the hat tree and won the game for him. Awesome. All right, so this one will be on Eternal Empire. And it will be the first TVZ we've seen out of Terran002, who is on a 2-game win streak. So far, we've had no bots go more than 3 wins. So let's see if we can get our first 4-win bots out of this gauntlet. Anyway, starting in the top left, we have the challenger. It is Baroness Zuli. And the challenger is always the higher rated bot because we're going up the ladder. Anyways, down the bottom left, we have Terran002, the BC rushing proxy barracks Terran bot. So I'm going to suspect we will see another 1-base proxy, but what it will be, we don't know. We've seen 2 different proxies. Maybe it won't even be a proxy this time. We'll have to find out. All right, so barracks is, or a depot is down, and barracks is being built on location, followed by double gas. So this feels like the proxy battlecruiser rush. He builds the barracks and the factory at home, and then proxies the starports across the map. Meanwhile, out of Baroness Zuli, he's at 600 minerals. 700. I think he's trying to build a spawning pool right here. And he can't because there's no creep. And then this is step 1. So there's no proceeding to step 2 until you do step 1. It's probably how this bot is coded. I'm going to go ahead and speed up this replay a bit. So unfortunately, we could have picked another replay between these 2 bots, but to be fair, I was always picking the most recent replay. And I think Baroness Zuli bugged out on this one. There is a query that's built into the API that you can use. It's like a placement query, and that will return a true or a false, whether you can actually place a structure, and maybe something that needs to be called prior to any Zerg structure, and that way you know if the position you picked is actually on creep. So it looks like it is the Battlecruiser rush. And yeah, they're just gonna go win. It appears that he doesn't always build them at the 3rd base. This time he's built it at like a 5th base location. And GG. That was a quick one. Sorry, Baron. I like to look out for my Java brothers. There's so few of us, but that was a quick walkover due to an unfortunate bug. But he is rank 52, which is ahead of at least 15 bots. So we know that this bot does perform most of the time, at least. So you can go to AI Arena and find his replays there if you want to check out what he actually does. Next, we have Terran002 on a 3-game win streak, which is the max we've seen so far, and he'll be taking on Chaosbot by Merc Moore. So I've seen a little Chaosbot, and he had some interesting things, but I can't remember what they are anymore. So let's hop right into the next match. I've been casting all these games back to back. We're on game number 15 now, and my voice is going. So I got to make sure when I hit the stop button to end this video that I end it for the day. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to cast anymore. All right, so I believe Chaosbot is a Terran bot, I want to say. And we have it on Death Aura as OBS loads in StarCraft. There we go. So this will be a TVT. So spawning in the top left, we have the returning 3-win King of the Hill. It is Terran002. And in the bottom right, we have the Terran Challenger, who's actually quite a bit higher in ELO. It is Chaosbot. Terran002 has been moving quite far up the ladder, facing much higher ranked opponents. So we go Depot, Gas into Barracks. So Gas first opener implies that you want a quick factory. By going Gas before Barracks, it allows you to build your factory immediately when your Barracks finishes. So if you want a fast factory, go Gas Barracks. Otherwise, you want to go Barracks then Gas, which allows you to get your orbital faster. So if I know this correctly, when you're going double depot at his main base, that's because he was proxying 3 Barracks. That's what we saw against Scarlet, and that's maybe what we see here. So closing the wall so the Chaosbot's SCV can't get in. Oh, I know what we've seen now with Chaosbot before. He has some cool stuff on certain maps where he creates little like cool proxies in the back of the guy's base and like walls it in so you can't get at his Marines and SCVs that pop out, and then build like low ground siege tanks next to it. It's pretty amazing. I'm not sure if that's what we're going to see here. It looks like he's already built his barracks at home. But yeah, it's functional on certain maps. Factory being built across the map. Chaosbot is a man after Maru's heart, where his main base, like the base where you build all your production, is the entire map. He builds anything everywhere. And, you know, but of course Terran bot's like, you know, what you can do, I can do better. And he's going to proxy 5 barracks across the map. That's hilarious. So when he built the 3 proxy racks versus Drone, he wasn't done yet. He just kind of ran out of resources. I'm not sure what Chaosbot does with his scouts. I'm always curious, like, it seems like every bot does worker scouts, but I don't really know how much they decipher out of what they see. I suspect very little, just by the reactions I've seen. But if he does have a reaction, the fact that he's seen no barracks and no gas should narrow down exactly what he's up against. If it's not a proxy command center, which is possible. I know I PF rush and my base looks like this at the start. It's almost certainly proxy Marines. Can't be proxy Reaper because there's no gas, so you don't have to worry about the jump-in zone. And you don't see a barracks at home or an expansion at the natural, so you know it's proxy barracks for almost certainly. So really, bunker, win the game. Should be the response. This SCV is now permanently stuck inside the base. Although it also kept this SCV from getting back in. Alright, so he's spotted it. Where is this guy off to? Oh, he's off to build his production in a random place on the map, which is what he does. It's taking a long time for these Marines to get on the offense. Meanwhile, he's been able to get out a siege tank and a Liberator on the other side of the map. However, at home, there is nothing to be found. Engineering Bay going down. A whole bunch of SCVs to repair, which is great versus Zerglings. Not so great versus stuff that can shoot on the other side. Something I only very recently fixed on my own bots. My bot used to do this too. I just say forget about repairing the wall if there's stuff they can shoot like here. If they can reach here, forget about it. Alright, so that's it for the SCVs. So this is what Chaos Bot has to at least draw the gamut with. We got Bunker with 0 Marines. Awesome. Somewhere to store your minerals that you can salvage later, I guess. It looks like the final 129 minerals are going to be spent on SCVs. Yeah, there's one and there's another. So unless this barracks goes, this command center goes down, which it might. If it does go down, he still doesn't have a barracks. So yeah, there's nowhere to spend those 50 minerals. He could salvage this, and then he could afford another tank or liberator. But when you code generic stuff with your bots, you're not thinking about scenarios of like, what if I lose my entire base and I still have 150 minerals left, but 100 of that is wrapped up in a bunker? When I've talked about before, like really simple decisions for a human that can't be almost, the bots almost always fail at, these are the sort of decisions. Just these weird edge cases for a bot that are easy for a human to figure out, but not so much for the bot. Okay, he's got an SCV to repair with, so he's got something to spend his money on. He's kind of shut down the economy. We're building 2 workers at a time, but I think all the resources from that are going to be spent on SCVs that instantly die. But the Marines have left the main base here and have found the factory and the starport. So any hopes of salvaging that bunker for 1 more unit are lost. This Liberator hopefully is smart enough to reacquire when the new targets arrive. But if it stays like this, it's not going to help protect the siege tank at all. This guy's set up in a good spot. If the Marines don't acknowledge Liberation Zone, which I assume bots of this level don't, then they'll probably just charge straight through this way. Oh, where are they going? They're going for the bunker first, so they might come up this way. Some of the Marines might end up over here. Oh, that was the last structure. Rip, GG. Okay, doesn't matter. Liberator gets to live. Was that 4? Is that 4 wins by Terran? Terran 002? I believe it is. Our first 4-win bot. Let's see if I can recall correctly. I think Lucid beat Queenbot, then lost to Terran for first win. Beat Drone to Drone for the second. Baroness kind of bugged out for the 3rd win. Then he beat Chaos for the 4th win. So our first 4-win bot. And now it's going to be a team kill. Terran 002 versus Zerg 001 by the same author. I guess Zerg was created first, just based on the numbering system. Was I on the right scene there? Maybe not. Yeah, so Zerg 001 is next, and that's by the author Udoita and Urduta? I don't know, something like that. And it's the same author as Terran 002. So next match for sure is going to be a Urduta victory. But will it be his higher ranked Zerg bots, or will Terran 002 continue its win streak and be the first 5-0 bots as well? 4-0 might be the, obviously it's not the champion of the Gauntlet because you want to be the last one standing, but it might be the most wins. It might end up being the most wins. Winning 4 in a row is pretty difficult because only one of those wins is against a lower ranked bot. That means you have to defeat 3 higher ranked bots. Anyways, we have a match and we are on, oh geez, what is this map? I missed it. Ice and Chrome. Oh, it says right there. Okay. In the top right, we have the challenger. It is Zerg001. In the bottom left, we have the 4-0 bot. It is Terran002. This is probably not a spoiler or a massive spoiler to Erduta. I'm sure he knows exactly which bot wins this, as he's probably practiced one of his bots against the other. We do have the 2 depot opening though, and we know that the 2 depot opening means a whole bunch of proxy racks. And for Zerg001, we have no idea what it does. So, could be anything. Let's see gas first. Into pool. So, not a hatch first, which probably means he'll be a little bit stronger versus a proxy racks all in. Although, maybe not, actually. Those proxy racks didn't attack for quite a while. And for that reason, I think a hatch first would actually fare better. If this were like a Maro 2 racks or 3 racks attack that attacks way sooner, like as soon as the first barracks is done, then this build is certainly better, having the earlier Zerglings. So I'm immediately thinking of the previous match with... I already forgot he played Chaos Bot. And he had the wall off, right? And then when the Marines arrived, he just charged all his SCVs to repair, and they all died to the Marines. That won't happen versus Zerglings. If he has this wall complete when Zerglings arrive, he can indefinitely repair while his Marines either go home to clean up the Zerglings or go across the map, or continue their attack across the map to finish the opponent. Is that even 6? He's going up to 6. 5. He went from 3 proxy racks versus Scarlet to 5 versus Chaos Spot to 6 versus Zerg001. Oh, but Zerg001 is detected the main base wall incorrectly. There is no wall. But I guess just seeing the depot was enough for him to assume there's a wall. Now, as a human player, when you're getting attacked and you have a bunch of proxy units across the map, your first instinct is to counterattack, since you're already across the map. I think with bots, it's often the opposite. Usually when you get attacked, your generic code kicks in to defend, and they end up pulling all this stuff back home. So let's see what actually happens here. Depot started. Okay, this is going to be just in time. I think the fact that there's very little surface area here might be okay. But these lings will definitely arrive before the barracks finishes, or the depot finishes. Well, he did detect, or he thought he detected a wall. And for that reason, maybe he's just using this to deny. Meanwhile, though, Marine count's getting large. Just look at the unit count here. We got 26 Zerglings, about half of them across the map against 13 Marines. So equal in terms of value. We do have 2 Queens for defense as well, though. And Zerg is back to droning. Probably not the best time. 7 drones, which will not get their money's worth before these Marines arrive. However, he still may have enough. The problem is he might lose half of his Zerglings before the other Zerg get back. The other wings to get back to help. Yeah, so immediately only injured 1 Marine at the cost of like a third of his lings. Now he's going to lose the Queen. These Zerglings do not have any intent at the moment. And all of a sudden this is looking really bad for Zerg001. Looks like Terran002 might be moving on. If he gets up to 7 bots, he's got to call a 7th one James Bond. Just saying. Larva did get a little bit of injuring done. And by larva, I mean broodlings, of course. These Zerglings still have no intent to defend or attack. Meanwhile, wave 2 from these Marines are coming. And, yeah, injects, but drones. It's building drones. And a lair. I think for the bot author, he might have been more excited about Zerg001 continuing as a higher ranked bot. But it is cool that Terran has made it to 5-0. And I think this spot might have been worked on more recently than Zerg. So maybe even though he's lower ranked on the ladder, he might be more of a challenge for other bots to deal with. Will these Zergs even move before the game ends? And I think the answer is a resounding no. That will end it. Congratulations, Terran002. You will be moving on. And we'll take a quick look at the ladder ranks here. So defeating Drone, Baroness, Zuli, Chaosbot, and Zerg001. Moving on to number 49 in Popo. Another TVZ. And we are 21 minutes in. Why not? Let's see if we can ride out this Terran002 until it does stops winning. Alright, so let's just hop right into the next match. See if there's anything interesting here. Popo is a working version, can play multiple lines. Not sure what that means. With 15 possible builds this version. Interesting. And that is a Python bot written by Player P Brief. So this match will be on Eternal Empire again. And what is it, another TVZ? Or, yeah, TVZ. So let's see what Popo's got in mind. Now, Popo I know as a very... a bot that looks like it's a lot stronger than its rank on the ladder. Because it seems to have a very well-developed macro game. I don't think I'm getting mixed up with another bot. So it surprised me that he's this low ranked. Because he gives my bot a run for the money. And yeah, my bot's ranked like usually in the top 10. So although a lot of making it to the top 10 is just not dying to a lot of cheese. Rather than, you know, how good your macro game is. First, you need to be able to survive all the little cheesy bots, and then you got to be able to beat all the well-developed bots. With that said, we have a hatch first coming out of Popo. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we do see the 2 supply depot opener, which we know is very indicative of a whole bunch of proxy racks coming. So we've seen 3, we've seen 5, we've seen 6. How many proxy racks will we see out of Terran002 this time? And will they get spotted? Like I said, Popo is a developed bot, and maybe developed enough to, when he spots a proxy, you know, pull some drones or send his early lings over here to try to shut it down. Also might be developed enough to scout with his drone, see that there's no barracks, and freak out and build some spine crawlers. Right? These are all possibilities once we start moving up the ladder to more well-developed bots. So, he has scouted no gas. Well, he scouted one of the gas geysers. Scouted no barracks. Scouted no expansion. He does see this SCV. Obviously, that's something that almost any bot will not be able to take advantage of, but a human can. Saying, why is there an SCV over there? Where most bots are just like, there is an SCV. Bring out the production tab. We do have the pool gas. At 60 gas, so I guess he went pool before gas. Still producing drones. Not a single Zergling in sight. And up to 5 barracks. So unfortunately, I think this drone he had across the map just did the scout, and we're not going to get the reaction to help with this. Extremely fast layer and a Roach Warren. Yeah, I'm not feeling good for Popo here. I mean, Roaches are pretty good versus Marines. But will he have any by the time this attack comes, because you know he builds like 1 or 2 more waves of Marines and then he goes. Like, what did he go with last time? 14? And we bring up the units tab. He's got 8 done with 5 on the way. So it's going to be soon. Roach Warren will complete. Let's see if there's any larvae saved up. There is some larvae. Nothing. Nothing being produced. Okay, so this is why a strong macro bot can be low on the ladder, because it looks like it's probably dying to every cheese with a build loader like this. Well, I guess he'll start producing. Oh, he's okay. 2 drones and then 5 roaches. 5 is not enough, but 5 is not 0 at least. These overlords might distract for a little while, but they also will get him supply blocked. So, double-edged sword. Queen does not. Oh boy, that's a lot of overlords getting hit. Okay, roaches are out. Unfortunately, they kind of got hit piecemeal here. Marines stutter stepping forward. Nice little micro technique. Wasn't expecting that out of a lower ranked bot. It could be coded by the author. It could also be built into the Python framework, like basic micro techniques. Okay, this is a little bit of good news here that they're distracted, so that he has time to build some more roaches. This is bad news, however. Whole bunch more Marines showing up. And I think Terran is on a roll. I'm not ending this video until it loses. So defeating Popo. What takes my bots 35 minutes to do is going to happen in less than 6 minutes. Because I didn't actually hide the timer here. Yeah, congratulations, Terran 000 000000002. I think I got that name right. And Rip Popo. Sorry we didn't get to see your later game. I believe he has some nice lurker play. But so far all we got to see was a layer upgrade. So such is the life of a best of 1 Gauntlet tournament. Maybe next time. So we'll hop out of here. We will take a look back at the AI arena. See where we left off here. So Terran 001 has taken out Popo. Next up is Braxbot. A Protoss bot I do not know a lot about. I do know the combination of using Python, especially if they're using the Sharpie framework, which I also suggest. With Protoss, means you can make some very powerful bots very quickly. So it doesn't look like it's using Sharpie. Just by the description, my first bot in Python, simple rule bot with some simple early game and mid game. Late game is not great. But, you know, by this I can assume that it's going to expand. An early game is what you want against Terran 002. You don't need late game versus this bot, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's hop into it, I guess. I would imagine just building a little bit of an economy and spamming stalkers would be very powerful. Stalkers naturally kiting versus unupgraded Marines is super strong, and the natural kiting the bots can do is pretty simple. And if he goes the BC build, well, I mean, Mass Stalker is pretty good against that too. Not amazing, but pretty good. And if there's one generic build you want to build with a simple Protoss bot, it is going to be the Stalker. Okay, so okay, there we go. We are up and running. All right, so we are on Submarine, and spawning in the bottom right, we have the challenger. It is Braxbot. And far and away the best bot in the series so far in terms of win rate, we have the 6-0 Terran. It is Terran 002. All right, so we have a gateway gas opener with another pylon out of Braxbot. So all pretty standard. I don't think you need the pylon quite that early. You could go for another gas or barracks or cybercore before that, but that's fine. I would assume most players, including myself, don't actually use supply depots or pylons as part of your build order. It's more like a generic function that builds them as you require them for supply or for structures in the case of this Protoss spot. Second gateway going down, followed by Cybercore. So this should give him a good amount of units. Maybe on the other side of the map we do... Whoa, what is... Whoop. Oh. Oh. Okay, so this looks like a mess. So 8 minerals have been mined. So these 2 SCVs are mined from it and they're never going to return it. However, it looks like the rest of the build is still functioning, so it hasn't completely broken the bot. This looks like the BC build. Oh, and they're actually distance mining it. There we go. It's functioning now. And this is great, actually. No, it's not great, because he didn't take a second gas over here. I was about to say, I once did like a one-base mass ghost build. And distance mining this was helpful because the build was so gas intensive that this was worthwhile. So it would be the same for a one-base BC build. But I think he took this instead of his proper one, which means this whole BC build is going to be broken. I think this is the SCV that's trying to go across the map to build the starports. And it's trapped in here because the wall is closed because of the zealot. Or maybe it was this SCV. I don't know, but this is... I think we may have seen the beginning of the end for Terran 002. So Twilight Count's on the way, chronoing at Warp Gate, and we do have a 3 gateway expand. Not producing any units though, which meant we might have been seeing a 7-game win streak out of Terran 002, but this is not looking good. Maybe if the Zealot goes down, if he gets dragged into these other Marines, he'll start distance mining this again, and he'll open this wall. Alright, so that opens up. SCVs are moving across the map, building starports, but even though he's out of vision... Oh, he just lost it. But he is going to pass another SCV. Right? Isn't someone... Who's building that? Is it this guy? Oh, there he goes. Okay. So he's going to pass another SCV, so maybe this other SCV will drag him into the position. Maybe he'll lose acquisition on this ramp. This is already going terrible for Terran 002. Let's not have him get his proxy denied. Okay, so proxy's up. Now, these starports are super late, but... Okay. I was about to give you some hope, Terran 002. What are you doing this to me for? I was about to say, it doesn't really matter that they're late because he's going to be so capped by gas anyways. He's always bottlenecked by gas that this wouldn't matter. But in this game, he's especially bottlenecked by gas because he's distance mining his second gas. He had this up too. Oh man, this game was not over. That's too bad. Right, so all of a sudden he's mining these 2 gas geysers. Awesome, right? And he's got even bonus gas on top of that. Awesome, because he's so bottlenecked by gas anyways. These starports are super late, but doesn't matter. Before, when he finished his 2 stargates and his 2 starports and his fusion core, he could only actually afford to build 1 battlecruiser. So these are late, but once he finishes them, he'd be able to afford 2 BCs and the Yamato cannon, right? And then on top of that, the follow-up BCs will be stronger because he's got like an extra mining gas geyser. You won't be able to deal with Dark Shrine, that's for sure. But maybe it wouldn't matter. 1 stalker. Ooh, this game was not over, but unfortunately, it was. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it was Terran 001 who crashed for sure. So such ends the streak of Terran 002. 6-0. Beautiful little run there. Started by facing the number 56 bot. Was able to move all the way up to the number 48 bot before he finally lost. So well done, Terran 002. I'm not sure if your 6-0 will ever be beaten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6-0. But congratulations to Braxbot. Looks like you had a solid build going there. This so some spicy Dark Templar. It'll be interesting to see what you can bring to the next match. And the next match, we're going to be seeing the very first, or the second, I should say, machine learning bot. We saw NickBot Learns, who decides what structures and units to build based on machine learning. And Doogie Howitzer is a cannon rushing machine learning bot. So where he builds his pylons, where he builds his cannons, what where the probes move to, and I believe he even adds in gateways and zealots to the cannon rush. This has all been developed by the AI, not coded in by the bot author himself. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. He actually competed in the last ProBots tournament as the bottom seed and smashed my bot on the ladder a lot. He was very good versus my bot. I only recently became good enough versus Doogie Howitzer to deal with him, but it involves having to build a whole new layer to my cannon rush defense, because there's other bots that cannon rush, and what I did when it built the defense is like, okay, let's start with step 1. Whenever we see the probe, send an SCV to kill the probe. Whenever we see a cannon, send an appropriate amount of SCVs to kill the cannon. And then I never had to build a step 2, because that was good enough to defeat every bot's cannon rush. Doogie Howitzer was the first bot set that was not good enough for. Because bots aren't really good with identifying terrain, so they can't find those nice cool spots to protect the cannon behind a pylon wall with, which made it super easy. But if we look at versus Ketrock, okay, it says he only has a 31% win rate, but there was a long period of time where his win rate was much closer to 70%. A lot of these 18 wins came very recently. So yeah, he was smashing me up for a good while. Yeah, so well-established Protoss player versus cheesy cannon rush player. This should be like a Reddit meme. We'll be looking forward to that. That'll be the first match in our next video, and I'll see you guys then. And I'm gonna stop casting these videos because I'm losing my voice. But yeah, we got a lot of content to put up. So for you guys, I'm sure it'll be one video right after another. But for me, I'm gonna be taking a break. Yeah, have a good one, guys. I'm out of here.